It's strange how a single moment, one tiny decision, can twist a person's entire life into a new shape. For Mark Dawson, a tired single dad juggling bills, late-night shifts, and his daughter's school projects, that moment happened on a freezing Thursday night behind a downtown bar. He didn't know her. She didn't know him. But what she shouted at him the next morning changed everything he believed about kindness. And the crazy part? That night, he almost walked away. Before we dive in, if you love emotional, inspiring real-life stories, make sure to subscribe, like, and comment. It helps our channel, Echoes of Dad, grow and reach more hearts just like yours. Now, let's begin. Mark was the kind of man who held his life together with worn-out routines and quiet prayers. He worked long shifts at a delivery warehouse, spent afternoons helping his 8-year-old daughter, Chloe, practice spelling words, and squeezed every dollar so tightly it practically screamed. Life wasn't easy, but Mark didn't complain. He just kept moving. That night, however, he felt more drained than usual. Snowflakes drifted lazily through the streetlights as he cut behind the bar to reach the bus stop. It was late. He was freezing. And all he wanted was to get home, warm up a bowl of leftover mac and cheese, and watch Chloe fall asleep on the couch the way she always did. But life had different plans. As he walked past the alley, he heard it, a crash, followed by a muffled curse. He stopped. Looked back. Seriously, he muttered. But he turned anyway. There, slumped against the cold brick wall, was a woman in an expensive navy blue coat, hair tangled, mascara smudged like war paint. Her ankle boots were soaking wet, one heel bent, and an empty bottle lay beside her. She groaned, trying to push herself up, but fell again. Stupid, stupid night, she mumbled. Mark sighed, the kind of sigh only exhausted parents master. Ma'am. You okay? Do I look okay? She slurred, blinking hard as if the world kept tilting without her permission. No, Mark said honestly, kneeling beside her. You look like you need help. She huffed out a laugh, sharp, humorless. I don't need anything. But she clearly did. He grabbed her arm gently and helped her stand. The moment she put weight on her heel, she yelped. My shoe. My stupid, expensive shoe. It's broken, Mark observed. No kidding. She tried walking, but nearly face-planted, and Mark caught her just in time. She smelled like whiskey and perfume, an odd mix of someone trying too hard to forget something. Where's your ride? He asked. She waved her hand vaguely. Gone. Friends. They left. Family. She laughed again, bitterly this time. Don't have any who answer the phone. Mark looked at her, then at the sky above them, then at the bus headlights in the distance. He didn't want to get involved. He had responsibilities, a daughter waiting at home, a life already full of stress. But he couldn't just leave her there. Not alone. Not in the cold. Come on, he said. I'll call you a cab. Can't go home, she said softly. Not like this. Okay, then where? She hesitated, staring at him in the dim alley light. Anywhere but home, she whispered, almost to herself. Mark knew that tone. Pain lived behind it. Look, he said gently, I'm not leaving you here. Let me at least get you somewhere safe. She studied him, suspicion and defeat mixing in her eyes. Why are you helping me? Mark didn't have a complicated answer. He just said, because you need help. She swallowed, and for the first time, her expression softened, just a little. He managed to guide her to the main street. Her heels kept slipping, so finally he crouched down. What are you doing? She said. Just, hold on. He untied his worn sneakers and slipped them off. Put these on. She stared at him like he was insane. You're giving me your shoes? I can walk in socks, he shrugged. You obviously can't walk in those. She looked at the shoes. Then at him. Her voice cracked barely above a whisper. No one's ever done something like that for me. First time for everything, he said with a faint smile. She slipped into the shoes, they were too big, but stable, and they continued walking. Mark took her to a late-night diner where he coaxed her to drink coffee and eat something warm. She sat across from him silently, staring into her mug as if the surface might reveal her life's answers. "You okay?" he asked. She shrugged. "Rough night." "You don't say." That earned him the tiniest smile. "I just snapped," she admitted. "Work. Pressure. Expectations. I'm supposed to have everything under control. That's what they pay me for, right? But today, everything fell apart." He nodded. "Happens to everyone." "Not to me," she said. "I'm the one who fixes things. I built a whole company from nothing. I lead a team of 100 people. And tonight, I couldn't even stand up." Mark understood more than she knew. Sometimes the strongest people crumble silently. When she finished her meal, he called her an Uber. Before she left, she paused, turned back, and asked softly, "How can I repay you?" "Just get home safe," he said. She looked like she wanted to say more, but the driver honked, and she climbed in. The door shut. The car drove off. And that was that. At least, he thought it was. The next morning, Mark dragged himself into work, still tired from the long night. He clocked in, grabbed his scanner, and headed toward the loading dock. He froze. Standing there, clean, polished, hair neatly tied back, wearing a crisp gray coat, was the woman from last night. She looked completely different. Powerful. In control. Sober. But her eyes held the same vulnerability he'd seen in the alley. "Mark Dawson?" she asked. He nodded slowly. "That's me." She inhaled deeply. "I said something this morning I've never said to anyone." "What's that?" She stepped closer. "I told myself, just walk away, idiot." Mark frowned. "Okay, but why?" "Because my instinct was to pretend last night never happened," she said. "To act like I didn't need help. To ignore the fact that a stranger showed me more kindness than anyone in my life ever has. I almost walked away from acknowledging that. But I'm not doing that." She reached into her coat and handed him a small envelope. Mark hesitated. "What's this?" "A thank you," she said softly. "And something more." He opened the envelope. Inside was a check with more zeros than he'd ever seen in person. His heart nearly stopped. "Ma'am. I can't accept this." "Yes, you can," she insisted. "Because last night could have ended 1,000 different ways. You chose the kind one. You gave me your shoes. You stayed with me. You treated me like a human being when I didn't feel like one." Mark stood there, stunned. She continued, voice trembling slightly. "I spent my whole career thinking strength meant never needing anyone. Last night showed me I was wrong. Kindness is strength. What you did, it shook me. In a good way." "Still," Mark said awkwardly, "this is too much." "It's not," she said firmly. "It's an investment. In people like you. In the world I want to live in." She paused. "Anne. I'd like to hire you." That stunned him even more. "Hire me," he echoed. She nodded. "Our company needs a logistics manager. Someone good, patient, calm under pressure. Someone with the kind of character you showed last night. If you're willing, the job is yours." Mark didn't know what to say. His throat tightened. His vision blurred for a moment. "Why me?" he whispered. "Because people who help others when no one's watching," she said gently, "are the people who deserve every opportunity." The job changed everything. Mark went from barely scraping by to giving Chloe the stability she deserved. He worked hard, of course he did, but for the first time, he felt seen. Valued. Respected. As for the CEO, her name was Laura, they built a friendship rooted in honesty and mutual respect. She often said he saved her that night, but Mark always insisted she saved herself. All he did was show kindness. But Laura had a different view. "Kindness," she told him one day, "is the thing that reminds us we're not alone. You gave me that reminder." Mark smiled. "You gave me a chance." And so, two strangers helped each other in ways neither expected. Life is unpredictable. Sometimes it breaks us. Sometimes it lifts us. But in the small moments, cold nights, dark alleys, tired